up, everybody? I'm Hallie, one of your guys' student pastors, and I'm so excited that you guys are joining us this week again for Tribes. If this is your first time here, you have chosen a great week to start because we're kicking off a new series this week, and it's all about tribes. We believe that life change happens within the context of relationships, which is why that this year we've decided to go all in on tribes, and why we're spending the next few weeks talking about friendships and the heartbeat behind tribes. So how many of you guys have some friends that you would say feel more like family? When I was in middle school, had some of these friends. We did everything together. I'm not even kidding you. I spent the night at my friend's house more school nights, I think, than I spent at my own house. And one of our favorite things to do together was rollerblade. And we would make like rollerblading routines. We would choreograph them and perform them in the garage for our parents. We'd make them cookies and put on a rollerblade show. And I remember one particular Saturday, we decided to film a rollerblade music video. And we wanted to do it at the local park. So we all got on our rollerblades. One of my friends, we'll call her Jane, didn't have her own pair of rollerblades, so she borrowed some from one of my other friends. So we all got on our rollerblades and we rollerbladed a few blocks to one of the parks. And I had my video camera, it was like an old school video camera. And we were filming all of these shots for our music video. It was like, blading down the street, like blading in circles. And then we got to the park and my friend Jane said, I'm going to go like rollerblade on the swing. And so she got on the swing and she was like rollerblading herself. So every time she would get close to the ground on the swing, her wheels would just like spin her back up. And she'd been doing this for about like 10, 15 seconds. And she's like trying to stop herself suddenly, which is really difficult when you have shoes that have wheels. And she says, I have to poop. And I was like, Jane, we're in the middle of filming a music video. She's like, no, like, I gotta go. I was like, well, we're like blocks away from the house. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. So we stop filming the music video and we start to head home so she can go to the bathroom. And we are not even a quarter of the way back to my other friend's house. And Jane says, I can't hold it. It's happening. It's happening. And I'm not even kidding you, squats in the middle of the street and pooped her pants. And we get back to my friend's house and she says, listen, you guys, you can't tell anyone that this happened. But because we were such good friends and we were like sisters, we're like, we got you, Jane. We're not going to tell anyone. And that story did not come out until years later. I'm serious. It was a good time and it smelled awful. But the bottom line for today is that we were made for relationships. Everything's better when it's with your friends. Pooping your pants, if you're with your friends, is funny. If you're by yourself, that's just awkward. So our core verse for this series comes from John chapter 13. And it says, so now I'm giving you a new commandment. Love each other. Just as I've loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write down this first point. We're not meant to do life alone. In the very beginning of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 2, God says, it is not good for man to be alone. God had made all of these things. He was creating everything in our world, and he created a man, Adam. And he said, that was the first time that God said, it is not good for man to be alone. So he created Eve for them to live in relationship. And this series isn't about all lovey-dovey things. It's just about how we're not supposed to do life alone. We're supposed to do it in relationship with one another. That's the way God designed it to be. So what I love about this core verse in John 13 is that Jesus is telling his disciples this shortly before he is about to go be killed on the cross. And Jesus knew this was about to happen. Jesus was well aware that his disciples were about to go through a really difficult time. And he knew, he never wanted them to go through hard things alone, which is why he's telling them now in advance, love each other. He's saying you need to be in relationship with one another because then you can do life with others in the good times and the bad times. So my husband and I recently graduated college, got married, and moved to a new town. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever moved to a new town, but it can be a little intimidating to leave all of your friends and the comfort from where you were before and move to a new place where you maybe don't know anybody. So as one does, I Googled how to make friends. And I found on WikiHow, it gives you 4 easy steps to making friends. And I was quite surprised as to how well these actually fit into tribes. So step number 1, make yourself available. This is as simple as putting yourself out there. Step number 2, join a club or organization to meet new people. And I just want to say, if you guys are here at Tribes tonight, you're off to a great start because you've already put yourself out there and you've already joined a group that might be a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So well done. Number 3, volunteer for a cause that you're passionate about. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds an awful lot like join a dream team and serve with other people. Number 4, try connecting with people you already know. Now, chances are there are people that you know maybe from school or maybe from church or maybe from somewhere else that you think, oh, they could be a really good friend, but you just don't know them very well, but you would like to get to know them better. And I want to invite you to reach out to them. Go outside of your comfort zone one more time and invite them to Tribes. And who knows, maybe a year from now, they'll be one of your best friends and they'll feel a little bit more like family than a friend. So diving back into this verse, the first part says, "So now I am giving you a new commandment. Love each other just as I have loved you. You should love each other." So this verse isn't just saying that we should be kind to people or that we should be friendly to people we see on the street. It's actually saying that we should love each other as Jesus loved each other. And I want to point out, when you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you become a part of the family of God. John 1:12 says, "But to all who believed in him and accepted him, he gave the right to become children of God." That's exactly our hope here in Tribes, is that you would choose into this and that it would start to be a little bit more like a family. So I was actually researching about ancient tribes, and I found an article on the New York Times that I thought was really fascinating. It said that back in ancient times, before there was the self, so before people became really individualistic and sort of like our culture today focuses so much on the things that make us unique or the things that make us ourselves. It said before there was that, there was the tribe. People literally defined themselves by what made them the same as a group, not by what divided them or what made them different. I love this quote from the article. It says, "The word tribe carries the promise of family beyond family." Our hope is that in your tribe, it would be something you choose into, and that over these next few weeks, you would start to get to know the people in your tribe, develop a friendship, and that Christ would be the thing that unites you, and that would be the thing that you focus on, and that you would choose into becoming one family in your tribe. So then looking again at this verse, the second part says, "Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." Our love is supposed to be evidence of God's love. But here's the truth. Relationships are really hard work. You can't just make a friend, or you can't just invite that someone who might be a stranger, you can't just invite them to Tribes and be like, "Oh, we're best friends now," and call it good. It doesn't really work that way. So much so that when I was looking up how to make friends, there was a second part to the article about how to maintain the friendship. And it provided 8 steps, and I wonder if we need to consider these 8 steps in how we do Tribes every single week. So if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write these down too. Number 1, be loyal to your friends. This is as simple as being there when they need you. And I love the picture that it showed on WikiHow for this. It's a picture of one of the friends crying and the other one just giving them a hug. And sometimes being a good friend is about really just being there for your friend when they're going through hard times. Just like this verse, when Jesus knew his disciples were going to go through hard times, he wanted them to be together and be in relationship and do the hard times with one another. Number 2, put in your share of the work to keep the friendship going. Like I said, relationships are hard work, but this is as easy as being the type of friend you want to have. This might mean being intentional about spending time with your friends outside of tribes. It's going to take work, but it's going to be worth it. Number 3, be reliable. When you say you're going to do something, do it. Number 4, be a good listener. I loved this one on WikiHow because it said it's less about being an interesting person and more about being interested in other people. I love that. What if we start listening to others more and letting them share their stories and worrying less about being an impressive person to others? Number 5, be trustworthy. This one says keep their secrets. Just like I kept the secret about my friend pooping her pants, sometimes your friends are going to tell you things or you're going to experience things with your friends that they want you to keep confidential. Or it might be a personal thing that they're going through, maybe in their family. And being a good friend is about discerning when things need to stay within your group. So maybe in your tribe, people are going to share things that you shouldn't go out and tell everyone else at school because they told you that, being able to trust you and that you would just keep it within your group. Number 6, emphasize your good qualities. And I don't mean just only say the good things about you. We want you guys to be authentic within your tribes, but also be yourself. Share the things that you're good at and live into your strengths. Number 7, keep in touch with your friends. And again, this might mean going outside of your way, outside of tribes, to say hi to people in the hallways or to shoot someone a text of encouragement when you know they're going through something difficult. This is about making time for them and sharing life with them. We don't want tribes to be just something you do on Sunday nights or on Wednesday nights. We want it to be a group that you do life with every single week. And this takes intentionality. Finally, number 8, choose your friends wisely. We want you guys to learn how to cherish friends who are a positive influence and maybe know when it's time to see your way out of a friendship if you think that it's unhealthy. So these 8 things, I just want you guys to take some time talking in your tribe tonight, how you can make your tribe a better place that feels a little bit more like a family, and how you guys can just dive into deeper friendships and start really doing life together. We're praying for you guys in tribes tonight. We just hope that you have a blessed time together, and we are so excited that you guys are here. Have a great rest of your night.